my grandfather on the mother's side, and then my grandfather on my father's side. They taught me. Grandfather, as well as my parents, if somebody talking to you, you listen. Listen and trying to learn. If you don't understand why, listen to it and then try to, sort it out. My name is Eugene Pepin. I am a member of the Omaha tribe of Nebraska.
My name is Joan Pepin, Omaha tribe.
My name is Rudy Mitchell, and I'm a member of the Omaha Nation, and I currently live here in the city of Omaha, Nebraska.
My name is John L. Pepin. I'm from the Omaha and the Pawnee tribes.
Cora and Omaha.
My name is Nathan Gilpin. I'm Omaha from Omaha. But I'm not a full-blood, so I got Iowa, Oto, and Missouri in me as well. Those are affiliated tribes in Nebraska.
They ask me where I'm from, I tell them Omaha. And they ask me my tribe, I say Omaha. And they think that I made a mistake, and I said, no. They named the city after our tribe.
Confusing, because people are like, you're Omaha? We're in Omaha. Are you talking about how you live in Omaha? Or are you living in Omaha? Are you?
Chief Bickout was my third generation grandfather.
Memory, history of our Omaha tribal past.
It's like a connection to the past, to that time when the Mormons and the Omaha tribe, they shared the land together. Devastated development company tore down most of the hill.
We have power at Dodge Park in September.
Presbyterians were the first to come among the Omahas.
The Hobo Park people gathered there, and the children play around there. And
Joe Tate here, we always come here, bring our children, eat with them.
Rainbow Ridge, the Omaha used it as a lookout point.
It's like a spiritual highway to me. I love this river.
A lot of people don't realize that Omaha is named after the Omaha tribe. Its correct pronunciation is Omaha. Omaha. Yeah, it's people against the current. And, we're modern people.
I guess I'm connected to Omaha.
When I was looking at our family tree, I made a discovery that Chief Bickout on my father's side was my third generation grandfather. Did some reading and found his speech that he made to when he took a trip to Washington, D.C. It just made me very happy that, to discover that. You must think for yourselves what will be best for your welfare. I tell you this so that you may be prepared for the coming change. Speak kindly to one another. Do what you can to help each other, even in the troubles with the coming tide. Now, my people, this is all I have to say. Bear these words in mind, and when the time comes, think of what I have said.
Fontenelle Forest was named after the famous Fontenelle family, and my mother's side were related to Henry Fontenelle, who was the brother of Logan Fontenelle, who was one of the last Omaha chiefs.
My name is Wynema Morris.
When I come here and what I feel, it's coming home because there's a real deep connection between myself as an Omaha woman, and knowing that this was the place of my ancestors, the Omaha tribe. It makes me feel so connected and so strongly about what occurred here, the families raising their families. This is a place of memory, of history, and of our Omaha tribal past.
See, being a natural people, native peoples, we need to understand that it's our connection to the land that matters the most. Well, connection to our people too as well. But that connection to that land is what heals us, is what's going to heal us.
As you can see here, we have a depression of what was known as an earth lodge. And this little depression in the center was the fireplace. And the earth lodge was built over it with a small opening for the smoke to escape on top of the roof. So this is one of the spots here.
Ye saints who the world endure pure, prepare yourself with many more to leave your own dear native land, for sure God's judgments are at hand. We must cross the raging main before the promise.
In 1846, the Mormons, they had several crossings, camped just shortly near here, a suburb called Florence. And then during the winter of the same year, 1846, when they came here, they had stayed here because they couldn't travel. And at that time, there was a number of them without food. And the Omahas who were near here helped to provide them food for that winter.
And they negotiated an agreement with Chief Big Elk to settle on the lands here temporarily. And because of that, They stayed in the area which was known as Florence, which is the northern part of Omaha. They have a cemetery and a visitor center that remains here today. My parents became part of the Mormon Church when I was 8 years old, and he was also a branch president, what the Mormons called the native people Lamanites. And so Lamanite branch president was my dad for a few years. And so we went through that program.
They have played an important part of the Omaha culture. Since then, they've had missionary churches on the Indian Reservation today. They've had a number of our Omaha children in the Mormon placement program, and they still continue to be an important part of one of the churches with the Omahas.
I think the main thing is it's like a connection to the past, to that time when the Mormons and the Omaha tribe, they shared the land together. Omaha people always were generous and was happy to help out people that needed help. And the Mormons fleeing the persecution that they were going through. Sure, we understood that because we had been a victim of that before.
We will be met upon the plain with music sweet and friends dear and fresh supplied our hearts to cheer.
Well, first of all, I had seen Hill Village a number of years back, probably in the early 80s, maybe early 90s. There was just a big hill that a farmer had owned, and it's situated between the confluence of the Papillion Creek, the big and little one. And of course, that was the ideal place to camp. We had some fresh water. The hill in a high point is very advantageous to always watch out for enemy tribes and to just have a good survey of what's around, you know, the animals and game that you can see. And now, today, when I went to see it, I was devastated because a development company had tore down most of the hill, and there was only a remnant ridge that was still in existence. And I know that there were native villages there and that there were burial remains that were there. And I even read about how one of the farmers had found a skull, and it just kind of really upset me and hurt me.
We have power at Dodge Park in September, Labor Day. And we always go down there to even camp.
Presbyterians were the first religious Christian church to come among the Omahas. In the 1840s, here in Bellevue, the Presbyterians built a mission, not only for the Omahas, but several other tribes that are around there, the Oto, the Pawnee that were near here, for the young children to school there. After the 1854 treaty was signed and then the Omahas were moved to northeast Nebraska, the Presbyterian Church followed the Omahas up to the reservation in northeast Nebraska. And there they built another mission school there, which I'm quite very familiar with. It's just several miles from my home and on the reservation there in Macy. But they played a really important part as far as, the education of the Indian people, especially the children that attended school at the mission school.
Since Hobo Park was right sitting in between the apartment, people gathered there. Evenings where they kind of gathered there and sit around and shade, and the children play around there. And yeah, this was a good meeting place for them.
Joe takes here, we always come here, even though we bring our children, eat with them. So we always see them coming from the rest, and we say, it's good to see you. Come way out down here to eat fish, I tell them. Everything is really good. I like the fish, the way it's fried, and potatoes and stuff like that. They're good.
This area that here is called Rainbow Ridge that we're at. The Omaha and Ponca used it as a lookout point or for sentinels. And they were always wary of enemy tribes that came through the area. And so they had people who were on top of the hill here to keep a lookout, always. And there was usually a family or two that lived in top of the ridge. I feel at peace. I feel the earth. I feel in touch with the nature and the animals. And it's a way to commune with nature. And I find it very healing. Being in nature with the trees, the animals, it's just so soothing. It really, really calms you down.
I think it's like a spiritual highway to me. I love this river. I respect it.
The Omahas, in their Omaha language, have a word for the Missouri River, Nishuda, land of the smoky waters. Well, I've always, as a small child, lived near the Missouri River. I used to go down there a lot of times during the summer, swam in the Missouri River. Just, part of, the reservation land. We're close to it.
Whenever I have any type of dark emotions, I like to come here. I like to come here because my dad used to bring me here to these docks, and the moon would be coming up, and he used to grab a handful of sand or gravel and he'd throw it out there. He said, "Now look at that reflection of the moon." You throw that out there, and he says, "Those are your stars." Those are your stars. And he says, sometimes we have a hard time in life. Sometimes we have a hard time in life. And he said, "You're a natural man. So if you feel bad and you don't want to talk to anybody," he said, "you find a spot that's special to you. And see, this river is that spot. Right here." Right here. What I was told when I was a kid. You live in a dark time, and we have to look to the future for those things that we're asking for to happen, because right now it can't. But that time is now. But don't expect it all to happen at one time. We all play a part in that prophecy. All of them. There's more than what I've said. There's Hopi prophecies, and there's the prophecies of the white animals that are all over the place now. What is happening here in Omaha and soon is that there is knowledge that was buried under the ground. It's not mine. It's for the future generations. I didn't originate this. These are the words of my ancestors and the spirits. We're going to gain a lot. That knowledge that was lost, we're going to regain, and newer knowledge is coming. And just as I said before, we don't have to wait to ask for these things anymore. We can ask now. So this is what has been told to us from our ancestors. They left that to us. It's ours. It's all of ours. And what I relay is what they have left for us for this period of sun, this new period of sun. That it's happening right now. And you don't have to look hard or far to see that these things are happening now. It's a time of hope, of gain. We're out of that darkness now that we were in, that stricken time, that time that was suffered, loss. We are free. We're free.